And Overdrive Reality is back in the sound vault.
Back at it again.
It is Matt. It is Matt.
Back at it again.
Back at it again.
Back at it again in the sound vault.
Yeah, one more time. It is Matt, Mike, and Adam. And guys, we had a nice time a couple weeks ago.
We did, and this is loud.
You guys are loud? You guys are loud?
Okay,
No, you're just loud.
You're loud as fuck, Matt.
I'm
Chill
sorry.
out.
Sorry.
Okay.
We had a good time a couple weeks ago at the Midwest Game Classic.
Yeah,
It was good. I liked it.
Sweet time.
So I want to thank Dan for having us out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, sir.
We'll be back next year.
And all the vendors and independent game creators that we met.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, the independent game developers actually came to check us out and just hang out with us.
Yeah, everybody was very interested in everybody else. Like, it wasn't like, oh, what's up? Like
we're just be in our own corner over here.
Yeah, no, like everybody was real cool, real chill. Everybody was open with all their rooms and all their equipment and all that stuff. Like, everybody was real chill.
How about that life-size Game Boy?
It was hot.
2 doors down?
Yeah.
Dude, it was huge. It was like this big. You had to push the buttons like.
That was probably like a 24-inch screen or something like that?
It was
probably?
big.
Yeah, it was really big.
It was large.
I thought it was pretty sweet. I do want to thank all the people that paid money to come out, paid to buy tickets for the event, and come check us out.
I like to thank all our sponsors.
Yes, all of our sponsors. Yes,
Brookfield Inn & Suites, soon to be
Embassy Suites.
Embassy Suites.
Digital Effects. They
Got
took
that,
care of us
guys.
with some T-shirts. MegaPromotionsTour.com.
Yeah.
You know, they were
Pornhub.
Yeah, Pornhub. No, all great sponsors, and you know, Dan's already told us we're gonna be back next year.
So come out to Wisconsin, come see us, come see Overdrive Reality, and we'll have a good time.
Now, how about that Mortal Kombat tournament though?
That was fun.
Dude, that was a big turnout. That
great.
room was hot and sweaty with gamer ass.
Yeah, it smelled like BO, but it was fun.
I had a good time. I feel bad that we had to kick out a competitor though. I mean, during a competition.
Mr. What's his last name?
Dan Diebold.
Dan Diebold. That was the guy that owns the
Nintendo
PlayStation.
Yes.
It's actually a funny story because what ended up happening was we were short a couple people on the bracket, and I had to run out in the hall and just like grab a couple people. Like, hey, you wanna do this tournament? Hey, you wanna do this tournament? And then this guy, I had no idea who he was. I just asked him, and he's like, yeah, I'll come back. So we brought him back. He ended up being the guy that owned the Nintendo PlayStation.
He was
and
super cool about
he was
stepping
super
out.
chill. He was a super chill guy. But the even funnier thing about that was before we even knew who he was, we had a competitor that she was in a wheelchair, and we didn't think that she was going to make it back on time.
I figured she was going to make it back, but the room got so crowded with people, it was just overwhelming trying to get everybody written on the brackets, and then like I seen her, I'm like, I forgot.
Because she had originally signed up on top of the brackets.
Right.
But something happened.
She was late.
She was about 10 minutes late, so we basically just kicked her, bumped her spot, and we pulled in.
But
an
I mean,
alternate.
she gets a pass for being 10 minutes late. She was
absolutely.
in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean,
we were at the furthest hallway.
Yeah, we were as far. Actually, we were the farthest from anybody that you could possibly be. So she had to get there, and she had to have somebody take her there. So we kind of felt bad. So we ended up asking one of the guys if he wouldn't mind stepping down, and that ended up being Dan. And but in the time that he would have been playing, Matt talked to him, found out who he was. He ended up being a real cool guy.
Cool connection. Now we have his phone number, and he's like, "You guys need to come down to Denver and hang out and whatnot, man." I mean, Adam challenged him to a game of Skate for his Nintendo PlayStation, and Dan kindly declined.
Oh yeah, what was he wearing? Volcom, or what was he wearing?
No, he was a skater. We were talking a little bit. He skates.
So, and he kindly declined the offer. So maybe next time, Dan, we can challenge you to a game of Skate on that.
Well, back to the problem I had. Like, I mean, at first, with the chick in the wheelchair, we were thinking that we kind of felt kind of bad for her. So we made her a priority to make sure that she got her slot, which. We should have treated her like everybody else because she ended up coming in and she knew how to fucking play. She came in and she was gonna shark everybody. You see, she comes in and you kind of see her like, oh, it's number one, it's a chick. Yeah. Number two, it's a chick in a wheelchair. So like you kind of underestimated her, and then she ended up winning her first match. Yeah. She got knocked out of her round, but she came in, she knew how to play, and she played very well, and we took her for granted, And I'm sorry if you're watching, Miss. I don't.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
She'll take She'll take the championship, win the poster
for the crown.
Yep, we'll be back with the Mortal Kombat 2 tournament next year.
Because who won it? It was Noah that won it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Noah, I think.
Congratulations, Noah, with your sweet ass Mortal Kombat 2 poster.
I loved his reaction to when he interviewed him at the end. So what are you gonna do with this poster? What are you gonna do with it? I'm gonna go in my room and stare at it probably for hours and hours on end.
I was kind of basically messing with him. Like, I mean, it was sweet. It was a sweet ass poster. I would not have minded taking that home for myself. I wouldn't have minded taking any of those sweet ass posters.
How about the guy that won the Star Fox poster had to get escorted by police to our room to grab the poster to win because he won.
He won. He came the first day, the Friday,
the Saturday.
He won it online.
He came on Saturday, but so he had to come back. But he had only bought a 1-day ticket.
Right.
So he had to get escorted by police all the way to our booth to basically grab his poster and then leave because he didn't want to buy another ticket.
If we would have known that, somebody should just ran it out to him.
Yeah, but none of us knew.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he could have easily just been like, "Hey, like I'm in the parking lot, I can't get in," and we would have given it to him. It wouldn't have been a big deal. But he had like a gun and a taser on him at the same time. Like, motherfucker, you better not be playing no video games.
Don't you even look at those pinball machines. Don't look at the pinball machines.
Don't look at nothing. Don't touch nothing.
Close your eyes. You didn't pay for it.
You didn't pay for any of this shit, dude.
Calm down, guys. You guys are cracking a little bit in my ears over here, man.
Sorry.
So,
you've been cracking the whole show.
Probably.
It's whisper time, guys. Okay, go ahead. Finish the show.
So, the one thing that I thought was really cool, the arcade room. The pinball room. 300 pinball machines and like 125 arcade machines.
That's a lot of pinball machines.
No, I liked right at 8 o'clock because when the event ends, it was just like a giant plug. Boom! Every arcade game, pinball machine all went out and the lights just kicked up.
Yeah, they didn't ask anybody to leave. They just turned off all the power.
But I loved it when they pulled the plug. Everybody in the room. Oh!
I didn't know it was gonna end like that.
Neither did I. We're in the middle of an NFL Blitz game.
Yeah, I figured they might just be like, "All right, guys, it's 7 o'clock. Finish up or 8 o'clock, guys. Let's get going." No, just straight. Just giant lever,
lights off. All the machines are off, and you couldn't see. You're like poking over people, like, oh god.
I thought it was awesome. The video game museum was pretty sweet.
Yeah, all the old Pong, Atari games.
I mean, they had every console from the very first Pong to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One in that room.
They had everything.
I loved it walking down, and they had the Atari 2600. I mean, there was a ton of them everywhere. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they had E.T., and the worst video game of all time, and I got to play it.
I missed it.
Dude, you did not miss shit.
No, I'm very familiar with the game. I watched all the Angry Video Game Nerd commentaries on it and stuff like that.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's not a good game. You basically just walk around.
Yeah, the vendor hall was pretty sweet too. Some of the consoles that you got to see, man.
You could pick up anything if you need. We had to buy an extra controller there.
Yeah, when our Sega controller had problems, I literally went to the guy and I was like, "Dude, you have anybody?" I went to 5 vendors. Like, no, we don't have any. The one guy's like, "I have a 6-button Sega Genesis controller." I'm like, "Dude, that's exactly what we need for our tournament."
Yeah.
He's like, "How much?" $5.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so $5. That's sweet.
There was so many vendors there.
Yeah.
Like that tent that was outside, it was ridiculous. It was huge. Like 300 yards or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, it took up like 100 yards.
100 yards.
But it took a big chunk of that parking lot underneath that tent.
Oh yeah.
The weather was a little rough, but it was
nice inside the tent.
Yeah.
They had heaters blowing in there. Like, I mean, it was cold. It was snowing. It was terribly cold outside.
I'll give credit to Dan and them who the rest of the guys that put it on because
they did a great job.
They put a lot of thinking into this. Like if it's cold, like how all the money they got to spend to put this thing together. Plus you pay the hotel for having them there and whatnot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was all around a really good show. I mean, everybody's super cool. I didn't meet anybody that was mean or snobby.
Don't touch my video game. It's a collector.
I do want to thank also Guys, Games, and Beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you've never watched Guys, Games, and Beer before, check them out. They have
the description.
Yeah, they all have a sweet podcast, and you guys went back to the hotel and just relaxed. But they invited us, so I went down. Yeah, for the podcast.
I got too drunk.
Day drinking.
So
I was like, oh guys, I gotta go back to the fucking hotel room. Sorry.
They had us on their 200th episode, which is pretty cool. And then they had the Pie Factory podcast in there as well. I really didn't get the chance to talk to those guys maybe next year. But their room was pretty sweet, man. The Guys, Games, and Beer room. They had everything from virtual reality.
Was that the one that we filmed them in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I did get to go to their room then.
Dude,
so it was
VR
pretty cool.
Gets me so sick, dude. The VR. Oh.
I
don't think I'm ever gonna buy a headset like that.
It would be. I
want to try it one more time.
See, I liked it a lot because you didn't like the Zelda one, right?
I didn't like the Zelda one. I didn't like walking around the arcade. The one with the
things
HTC,
in your hand. Yeah,
that one was okay.
You have the sword and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that one was okay. I didn't get as sick as Quick, But I eventually got there. Like with the Zelda one, like and the arcade one. As soon as I start moving around, I'm like, no, don't like it. Nope, take it off.
Yeah, see, because
like the sword one. As soon as I start walking around, looking around, like, all right, I can take this for like 5 minutes.
See, that's weird because I don't like roller coasters. I get motion sickness on roller coasters, but you like roller coasters.
Yeah,
like
me too.
Like
I want a roller coaster without the seatbelt on.
Like you go on like the Raging Bull upside down and backwards.
No, Raging Bull doesn't go upside down. But yeah, I'm going Raging Bull.
I don't know. I've never been to Six Flags and gone on a roller coaster.
The demon goes
but I mean,
down.
I don't like roller coasters. It's not fun for me. But I got into that into the HTC Vive. I got into there, and they had like a sword game where you could like pick up a sword and like you could wield it and like
cut crates
and crates and stuff. But then like I was like, oh, how do you? So because you had two triggers which were each of your hands, so I eventually like figured out that you could pick up crates, and I was juggling the crates, and I was fine.
It was cool. Like
I mean, I had no.
It's the new technology, man.
I had never been in VR before, and I took it completely fine. I was surprised that I didn't get sick like you did.
From myself getting sick, I think there's gonna be the downfall, and I think too many people are gonna like. That's why it won't catch on. Too many people are going to get sick.
Right. I mean, it's also extremely expensive. It's just a peripheral.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, these are games that you can. I mean, some of them you can play like on a regular like monitor, but like this is just a gaming peripheral. $600, $800 gaming peripheral. That's going to be the downfall.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we got to wrap it up right now. We have about 30 seconds left.
Oh.
So we're going to wrap it up. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We'll put the links below. Thanks to Dan and them from the Midwest Gaming Classic. And we'll see you guys next time. Overdrive Reality.